Arsenal. He is forced back though. Has played forward brilliantly through the lines to Jury and Timber, who's inside the Blackburn area and gets the shot off.
Hello, yeggooner back again with another video. We're out here with King Colin.
You know how we do, baby.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna preview the Chelsea versus Arsenal game. This one's gonna be this one's gonna be juicy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sit back, take the driver's seat, try and pretend that I'm neutral. I'm gonna be asking KCW King Colin. I'm gonna be asking him questions and see how he's feeling before the game, and then kind of be level-headed, and whatnot. First thing we gotta get to before we start. First thing we want to get to is Cole Palmer and Gusto are apparently out for this game. Okay, that's the first thing. Cole Palmer and Gusto are apparently out for this game. Do you think that Cole Palmer and Gusto being out affects the outcome of this game, or do you think that it's regardless they have the depth? For example, they got Madueke, they got Sterling, they got Mudryk. Do you think they have the depth to replace Cole Palmer with those man them? You get me?
Bro, these guys are ninth place in the league, bro.
Yo, no, they're ninth place. No, they're ninth place, but they're 3 points away.
Once we beat them tomorrow, we're gonna be 30 points ahead of them, bro. So if they have depth, then I guess it's a 30-point drainage of depth, because Cole Palmer playing, Gusto playing, Cole Palmer not playing, and Gusto not playing, I think it doesn't affect anything, because at the end of the day, this is basically a final. Like Declan Rice said, every single last game for us is a final. So I don't actually think no one cares who plays for Chelsea tomorrow, because the mindset is whoever plays, we're just gonna destroy them and get the W. So it don't matter who plays, the mindset remains the same, just to beat them. So no one cares if Cole Palmer plays or not, if I'm being honest.
So let me just for me, because what I'm getting is that what you're saying is that Cole Palmer is Cole Palmer, Gusto is Gusto, but regardless of who was on the team sheet, doesn't change what Arteta needs to do, doesn't change the mindset of us fans. We gotta we're at home, right, and we gotta beat them.
Yeah, is this for example, Real Madrid and City? First leg, Kyle Walker didn't play, nor Edison. But is Real Madrid now going to be oh, okay, we have it a bit easier? No. And they drew that game. You know what I mean? They basically drew both games. But basically what I'm trying to say is matches like these, it don't matter who's playing. This is a North London derby. So that already, the hype's already there. So honestly, Cole Palmer played against them the first time he played, and I don't with me, I don't
He scored a penalty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't consider Cole Palmer that threatening, or I don't consider him world class. So him playing or not playing for me doesn't make a difference. I'm more scared of Sterling, to be honest.
I feel you. I remember that game quite vividly because we watched it when we were in the UK, and I visually gave up. You get me? But we came back and we came back into it. And so I want to get kind of your thoughts on who you think our best player is going into this game. Who do you think our key players are going to be as well? So we'll start with, who do you think our best player is going into this game?
I think the best player has to be Odegaard.
I agree.
It has to be Odegaard. Because Chelsea, they're not great defensively, right? So if Odegaard is able to just have a decent game, a decent Odegaard game is enough for us to win this match. We don't need anything crazy. We just need him to make minimum 5 key passes, and that's enough for us to win this game. because their defense is leaky. Like you're going to get opportunities with Chelsea, and you're going to score at least one with Chelsea. That's where Odegaard comes in, making sure that he just dictates the tempo. So he has to
Yeah.
be the player, and he is the best player in the fixture, in my opinion.
You know what? Yeah, with that, I agree with you. But for me, yeah, Odegaard is 100% hands down the most important player for us, and in my opinion, like it's debatable who's our best player this season, him or Declan Rice. But I think in terms of winning the game, because we're gonna score, right? And me saying we're gonna score has nothing to do with how good we are offensively. It actually has more to do with the unstable, like the instability inside Chelsea's midfield and the fact that they keep changing their centre back pairing. I think Declan Rice might be, in my opinion, slightly more, just because, in my opinion, our defense has improved so much because he's been in place in front of the centre backs, and he is boosting the ability of both of the centre backs. So Declan Rice performing means we keep a clean sheet. Us keeping a clean sheet, in my opinion, means that we can win this, because I think it's going to be one of those things where we miss our opportunities, right? I'm thinking we win this. I'll give my prediction later, but I'm thinking that the clean sheet is probably the most important thing to me, because we are going to score. They'll let us score, and so with that, um, even though he's not playing this season, it is a thing that's been discussed all the time. I personally don't know why. I personally think that Cole Palmer is a cam. I think he's a cam. When he like that, his best performance versus Everton, uh, he played as a cam. His work rate suggests that he's more of a cam, but obviously in this day and age, the cam role is being removed, and so cams usually go to the wing or they play as false nines. I'm hearing a lot that he's being compared to Saka. He's having a really good season. For you, who do you think is better, right? And this is what I want to do, yeah, because I keep hearing that Cole Palmer's better and he's just a better football player. I don't know what that means. To me, a football player encompasses every asset of the game, not just dribbling and how you look when you dribble. Because Allen Iverson had a skill move package inside two, like for all the basketball fans, right? Or even like, no, let's not do that. No, in pairs when you're editing a player or in
Yeah,
FIFA, there's a
yeah,
dribbling style they have.
yeah,
And then Zidane had that old, like back in the days, and then had that old man dribbling style.
yeah.
That don't look good in PES, did it?
Nah, bro.
But Zidane did it.
They couldn't
So
even pull
who
it into
cares?
the game.
Yeah, who cares? You get what I'm trying to say? So,
Yeah,
like, for me, what a football player is what position you play, the traits that position, what you need to do in that position, and the traits you need to do in that position,
yeah.
and whether you do it or not. That's what encompasses it. Obviously, a winger dribbling's a part, but yeah. So basically, what I'm saying, like, if you who do you think is a better player, and then like, what traits do you think make them better?
I don't even know why would like. Obviously, I'm not saying this to you, but I don't know why this is even a conversation. I think it's just dog poo at the end of the day. The fact that we're talking about Cole Palmer and Saka, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, what I'm about to say, what I'm about to say." If Saka's name was Callum Brighton, we would not be having this conversation about who is better, because Callum Brighton would be a lot better than Cole Palmer, because it's just and that's the thing about football nowadays, where so much is into the stats. Like you have a conversation with someone and they talk about the first thing they go to is just look at the stats, mate. The
Sorry,
stats
sorry.
tell you that.
I'm gonna cut you off here because
Yeah,
it's so funny. I've been reading Arsene Wenger's autobiography,
yeah,
and in the very first pages, he does like a thing where he's just predicting how football's gonna go,
yeah.
and he's basically saying that a lot of people, like every now, we're just more stats orientated. We don't actually
Yeah,
watch the game. We
we
don't
don't.
view the game how it's supposed to be viewed, and like it's just funny you say that because Wenger has been known to be like the Simpsons of football, where he will say stuff and he's predicting the way football be in the future, and that's one he said. But sorry, continue.
Yeah, and just to hark on that is like you can't have a convers like for example, like I play football, you played football. There's some things inside the game that stats don't cover. For example, if you look at Ben White, stats won't cover how much overlapping runs he makes to make space for Saka, and how much those overlapping runs, like how much they've led to Saka's assist, or how much they have led to a switch of play which has caused the goal. But you look at Ben White and he always making that overlapping run, and you think he's crazy, and only a madman would do that. But he's following instruction because he understands what it does for the team, right? And that's why I'm saying that you can't compare Saka, where Saka went from left back with Emery, right? Then he went to a Europa League final with Emery, right? Then from a left back, he's now like he was a left winger. Then now he plays on the right, or yeah, he plays on the right. And Arsenal for the second year in a row, yeah, is competing for a Premier League title. This is a Saka, and this is all in the span of 5 years, right?
Yeah,
All in the span of 5 years. Cole Palmer was on the bench at Man City. Because
yeah.
they're roughly the same age, right?
I think Saka is 8 months older.
That even highlights my point even further, right? So Cole Palmer is having one good season and contending for a golden boot, and everyone is saying that he's better than Saka. He's better than Saka. If he's so much better than Saka, why isn't his goals equaling more wins? You know what I mean? Saka's having a worse statistical season than last year, but the team had made it to the quarterfinals against a Bayern Munich team that arguably we competed against in both legs. Like it was a competitive game, both legs. Yeah. And it just proves that Saka's game is more than the stats, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like his game is getting to another level. Do I like some of the stuff Saka does? No, I don't. But against Bayern, you saw him tracking back. You saw him defending the overlapping run. You saw him get stuck in on his own side of the pitch, and then he's also required to be created on the other side. So then, if you look at it, if you compare that to Vinicius Junior, Vinicius Junior isn't asked to do that in Real Madrid. You know what I mean?
Do you think Cole Palmer is asked to do that as well? Or do you think that he's given the Vinicius Junior treatment, like Poch said, where like everything goes through?
Given the Vinicius Junior treatment. Like he's clearly given it. Like it's not even it's not quite, because what Poch is doing is basically saying that in order for me to keep this season somewhat alive, I need to ride the hot hand, and that's what he's doing with Cole Palmer. He's just being like everyone forgets Pochettino managed Southampton. So Pochettino knows what he's been inside these circumstances with worse teams. You know what I mean? So he knows what he's doing. He knows how to manage that. So in terms of traits, like even look at the penalty incident. Yeah, everyone blames Nicholas Jackson. Why is he grabbing the ball? And Madueke and all the other guys, right? But true leadership, yeah, that never happened at Arsenal. Even at Arsenal was in Europa League, competing for Europa League spots, right? And now Saka takes pens, but you never see Saka pushing people to take pens.
Yeah, in fact, there's occasions where I don't know how. Again, this is a player discussion. There's occasions where Odegaard picks up the ball and he gives it to Saka. He's the captain, by the way. And there's occasions where he picks up the ball and he takes the pen himself. But
That's
you
what
never
I'm saying.
see a situation where they're fighting for it, even though I believe Saka is
He's
Arteta's
one of
like
the
he's the
designated.
pen
He's
taker.
one of the designated, and that's where my point comes in when you talked about traits. I know people are like, where you going with that? Saka, I think, is more of a on-field leader, meaning that his impact, he doesn't impact. His impact isn't just himself; he impacts everyone around him. If that makes sense, he's impacting the team. He may not be the most vocal leader or the most expressive leader, but he's one of those. He's almost like a Harry Kane, in a sense where it's like if Saka's working hard, it's a ripple effect. You know what I mean? In the sense where other people are like, okay, yo, let's get it. If Saka's playing really well, everyone's like, all right, let's get it. So those are, for me, that's the only trait you need. And that's why, like, if you talk about other sports like LeBron, Michael, it's that dog, it's the leadership, it's those the mentality as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and I think
I
those
feel
are
you.
part of the traits that just make Saka better. And if you go to England, I know we're talking about the club, but look at England. Look at Saka's influence in England. Without Saka's influence in England, I don't think we get Declan Rice. You know
No,
what I
we
mean?
don't. We
So
don't. We
like
don't.
that's what I'm saying. Saka, like last World Cup or was it Euros, everyone on the English team was doing content with Saka. Like everyone, like they were doing spelling competitions and stuff. So it's like he may not be like a leader in a sense where he's vocal, he's aggressive, but he has a persona where people gravitate towards him. So that means that you want to play with this guy. So those are the traits that you need in a winning side, and those are the traits that are helping Arsenal be where they are. You know what I mean?
You know what I want to say and add to that. Um, I'll get to what I think, yeah. But what I want to say and add to that is that what you get with Saka is that effect where he naturally, these guys naturally gravitate to him. You get me?
That's what I'm
Right?
saying.
I even on the and the thing is that there's a perception that the Arsenal fans, when I say Arsenal fans, I'm not talking about me or you. I'm talking about the ones that people reference when they say we're deluded, when they say blah blah blah, right?
Yeah,
So um so there's a perception that Arsenal fans put out there, right? And there's Saka himself as a person. Saka
yeah.
himself as a person is what you're describing. He's someone that he like we even see on the pitch. He doesn't receive the ball in space. The only time he does is his off ball movement. So he's going off ball on his off ball movement. He receives it with a through ball over the top. He's able to touch it down and then he takes his time because he's like, I'm more of a creator. We'll get to this, but this is why we need a striker, right?
Yeah.
Because he's more of in my opinion, Saka's more of a creator than he is a finisher, but he has to
He's a
take that role
winger,
because we don't have a finisher.
bro. And that's what I was talking about football. Like, we've had Messi and Ronaldo scoring 50, 60 goals off the wing, doing criminal stats off the playing wing. Then now you're not like wingers' job is to create. Wingers are not meant to score 25 plus goals. I never knew when that became a thing in football. Wingers, if a winger has like 15 plus assists in all competitions, like we both play FM, bruv. When you look at assist records for like Italian league, Spanish league, you beat it at 17. So it's like the expectation of scoring 25 plus goals as a winger is absurd. He's a winger. Like he's a winger. So it's like if Saka gets 10 assists in a Premier League campaign season, that is excellent. And it's like, and that's what I'm saying about the statistics in football. It's ruining the game, bro.
But
Look at
would you say that like also people's like oh Jogo Benito
yeah,
doing skill moves, looking good on the ball. Because what I do when I watch a game, right? Bless you.
thank
God
you.
bless you. God bless you. What I do when I watch a game is sometimes actually I'll say 25 to 30, 35, right? I just don't look at the ball. I look at our shape. I look at what's going on. So I have an idea where the next attack is gonna go. I have an idea where, oh yo, like you should have passed over here. Like, what are you doing? You get me? Versus
Yeah,
just watching the ball. And do you think that like what's going on is that people just because if you ask me, yeah, when I watched that Chelsea game when Cole Palmer was playing, and apart from what he does on the ball with space,
yeah,
like real talk, I need to see more from him next season. He's doing amazing. I'm not taking anything from him. I need to see what he does more of season because I don't see him doing the runs that Saka does, where Saka's able to get Odegaard to get a through ball to him. I don't see like, and people say Saka doesn't take on his man. At the end of that Wolves game, this guy took on 3 men, got into the box,
but
and
that's
then he
what
just
people want to
fluffed the
see more of,
finish.
though. But that's what Arsenal fans want to see more of it. And I said this too. When I'm watching him, I'm just like, bruv, like, because if you go back to like, I was about to say I am Robin, but you go back to like early 2000s and you look at wingers then compared to wingers now. Wingers are driving at the players, but nowadays the cut in is so much. Everyone wants to cut in, cut in. So like when you see him drive at players, that's what Arsenal fans want to see. Where it's like, bro, you can beat these guys, but you want to cut in, and everyone knows in football, cutting in is low key harder than running past. Actually, running past a player is hard, but cutting in is like
Yeah. But when you tell you something, this is just a theory. We're gonna move on to other stuff, but this is a theory. Do you think that the way Arteta wants our right hand side to play is being creative? So when you watch the game, you're seeing Ben White is the one drilling crosses in low. You actually see, like, I saw about 3 times. I would have to double check the stats, but I saw 3 times where Saka actually ran to the byline and crossed with his right foot as well. Do you think that what we do is that we hold the play and clog the play up there to free up the person on the left hand side so that they have an easy kind of, because last season Martinelli, when he was actually firing, was able to get those one-on-ones, those like quick transitional balls and then score. I think that Arteta does that way because Saka is good ball retention, so he can hold the ball and create space on the other side. And we have the space on the other side, we try and attack. That's what I think's happening. And like, I'm not trying to say that Saka can't do what or make an executive decision to do the thing, but I think the season's long in it, and I do believe he's carrying an injury, and so he's reserving the taking on his man to when he believes maybe I can score.
Yeah, I think that on both sides of the pitch, they're trying to create one-on-one scenarios. You know,
Yeah,
we lost Yuri and Timber, so we don't actually know the full potential of our left side yet because we've had injuries on that left side the most. Whereas Ben White and Saka, you see what their green chemistry link can produce with Odegaard on that side too. So it's like
Ben White's a warrior, bro.
that's
He's
what I'm
actually a
saying.
warrior.
So with Declan Rice and even let's say if Kai plays that role, we are yet to see what that side can actually fully produce. And then it also makes it harder when you don't have a goal threat playing your number 9. You know what I mean? That is scoring 20 goals in a season. So it's like you're relying on wingers to score for your strikers. But yeah, I do agree with you. I think he's trying to do that on both sides of the pitch, where it's like trying to free up as much space for Saka and obviously create more with Saka. Whereas on the other side, Martinelli is more of he wants to score. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't mind
Yeah,
crossing it into the box, but he wants to score. So it's like, but both sides of the pitch want to create that 1v1. You
I
can
feel
see
you.
that.
We're
Yeah.
gonna actually pivot onto a little bit of Chelsea talk, uh, right before we do our predictions and do a combined 11. I think the combined 11 is gonna be very fast, if you ask
Yeah.
me.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
so on the Chelsea side of things, we have seen that they're able to rise to the occasion when they play the bigger teams. I believe uh, they've beaten City, not beaten. No, they've drawn City twice. I think the only people that have really dealt with them, Liverpool really dealt with them when they came to Anfield, right? And do you think? So? What do you think? Do you think that because people like to compare us to or compare Arteta to Pep? Me
Yeah.
personally, I don't see it, but it is what it is. Do you think that we're gonna go the Pep route where it's like when Chelsea come to us, they're able to match us? And if you don't think so, like, so what do you think Chelsea are gonna look like when they play us, basically?
I think tomorrow's game we're gonna come out super aggressive. Super aggressive. Because when I was watching the Wolves match, I was like, why are these guys so like it almost felt like they're being passive aggressive in a sense where it's like we know we're gonna score, but we're being patient and we're gonna wait for the opportunity to come. And when it comes, we have to take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think they were doing that.
How did you feel about that performance, anyways? Because lots of people were saying that it was really bad. I only thought we were bad in the final third. I think everywhere else were good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it was bad. I think it was very, very mature in the sense where it's like, you know that you are the favorite. So we played like we are the favorite. It's just that people wanted us to beat Wolves like 3 or 4-0. You know what I mean? And it to
Yeah,
be more convincing. But if you look at the game, Wolves didn't have anything in the game. They didn't have
that one
anything.
shot.
They had one shot, so they didn't have anything in the game. It's just Arsenal didn't come out like just full press on them. Our back line is inside the halfway line. They can't escape. We didn't do that because
It's so disrespectful, you know. That stuff like I find it so like I just find that interest like obviously the game was not like interesting, but I
yeah,
find it so disrespectful when I see Gabriel and Saliba just
in the
inside
mid.
like
Yeah,
it's wild.
yeah. So like, and I think that's what fans wanted, but fans don't understand that playing that level of game is very high intensity, very high, right? And that's one of the things did last season. We tried to play that style every single game, and that's why it's not good. You have to have different approaches to your game, and we just showed we showed a different approach, which is we can win games by dominating silently, if that makes sense.
Mm,
It's like, you know what I mean? And that's what we did. Cause in my head, I'm like, what are we playing? But then when I digested it, I was just like, okay, this is maturity right here. This is maturity. In the sense where it's like, we know we're going to win, but we're humble and we're going to take our chances. And when we take our chances, we're not going to let them concede. And
yeah,
that was a
yeah,
mature performance. Because
yeah.
before 1-0 up, 75th minute, they're equalizing.
Even the 2 goals, we had that thing. Because like for me, yeah, with that performance, right?
Yeah.
Just because I consume a lot of content just to get other people's opinions and understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Lots of people were saying that we had issues going into the second half that within the last couple of games. So Aston Villa second half, they're like, oh, what did Arteta tell these guys to come out this bad in the second half? Bayern Munich, we started off pretty decent second half as again, right? So what people do is they're so reactionary. This is what we get with our fan base, where you forget what you said literally 3 days ago or a week ago when you were saying that Arteta didn't do well in the second half. We played like we killed them off inside the second half. We came out in the second half, we performed well. So that's Arteta learning from his mistakes. And in 3 occasions, one where he's learned that throughout this season he needs to conserve energy levels by how we play on the pitch. So we can have a Saka play like on half pedal, right? Have Ben White play half pedal, have the guys play half pedal in a game and choose our moments so that we can conserve energy, right? Because we have the highest minutes, right? And the players that have the highest minutes, Declan
Our
Rice and
best
Odegaard,
players.
have only had niggle injuries.
Yeah.
Saliba, Gabriel, niggle injuries, right? And the second thing is, last season around this time, we go 2 goals up. When halftime comes, we're expecting 2 goals back. That's not happening, right?
Yeah.
I've scratched the Aston Villa. Aston Villa, like, I, it hurt the most, but they are a top team right now.
The
They're
the
top, it's not
thing,
an excuse, but they're a top team right now. So
the
you're playing a top 4 team right now.
yeah,
They're basically like they're playing with the way Chelsea are supposed to play against us. That's how you have to view Aston Villa this season. It sucks. We were rubbish, but they beat us, and they're top team right now. Barring that, we've been, I would say, up to this point in time, I would say we have a 75% on the test.
yeah. The thing with the Aston Villa game, I feel like we when I look back, I low key kind of feel like maybe we lost on purpose in a sense where it's like, and I'm saying this, yeah. Obviously, we didn't lose on purpose, but I'm saying it because I feel like Arteta knows his team that when we're top of the league, he knows that they can't handle that pressure. So us, like Liverpool drawing against Man United, then now us losing to Aston Villa, now the pressure's not on us again, if that makes sense. Because
I want it to
now,
be though.
yeah, but the thing with Arsenal, yeah, we gotta understand every time the pressure's on us, that's where we've bottled it. So now the pressure's not necessarily on us again because what? Out of the three in the title race, we're the first ones to take the L. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
now it's not necessarily in our hands anymore. Now it's in Man City's hands. So
You know what? You know what's funny about
for the
this? You know
first
what's funny about
time,
this?
yeah. So for the first time, now Man City's not chasing Liverpool, which they're prime on doing. They're not chasing us. Now they are being chased, and they're being chased in a different way because now if we're tied on points with them, we win the league, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now if they draw a match or lose a match, how does Man City respond now? We've never had to face those questions before in a very long time. The last time we had a title race like this was Fergie versus Pep.
Yeah. The was it the Aguero moment? Yeah.
The QPR, the Aguero moment. So that's what I'm saying. Now the pressure's on Man City. So that even the Bayern game we set up at first I'm like, why are we playing like this? But I realized that we're playing like this because Arteta wants us to take our chances. But Arteta's not playing on the pitch. He can't tell our left back to mark Kimmich that's making a run into the box for a free header. That
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
other than that, you can't say his tactics were bad because Bayern Munich were less threatening than they were in the first leg.
What people do, yeah, what they do, and it makes sense. If you have the argument that our bench is rubbish, right, and we don't have Arteta doesn't trust anyone on the bench, and right, but then you also say that our bench is rubbish. Why would he trust? You say our bench is rubbish, but you want him to trust the rubbish bench. How does that make sense? At the end of the day, he did what he had to do with Bayern. It is what it is. Whatever. But I want to touch on the City thing. Then we'll get your prediction, and we'll move on to the combined 11. What I want to say with the City thing is, I would say after the Villa game, I would say the way I felt and the way you felt, right? Because Crystal Palace happened, I think, the same day. We have Daniel, he's a Liverpool fan. We're in the same group chat. We all felt that it was over.
Yeah,
And I believe that what we do is, and we didn't, it's not like we went crazy. We didn't really go crazy. You get me? I made a video talking about how I want us to take this because I watched that Gagey fight and I'm like, that's how I want to go out. Right. So what I'm trying to say, yeah, that's how I want to go out, man. If we're gonna go out like that. You get me?
yeah,
Like that, I'm like I'm not one of these people like, oh, this is Pep Guardiola's league. Nah, because like Justin could have easily said that this is Max Holloway's fight. He's already won. He's like, and
yeah,
Max Holloway is like, yo, like I'm the king in here. It's like, okay, let me show me you're the king. Take me out. He got taken out. Who cares, man? Like at the end of the day, everyone gives Gagey there his respect. If we lose by 2 points, hats off to Arteta, hats off to Arsenal. Regroup. But what I'm trying to say is we play today. That's 2 times we've played. We have 4 points over City. It's 4 points over City when they haven't played, right? They play again on Thursday. The difference is we play first on the weekend,
yeah,
right? They're playing 4 away games out of the remaining 7 games they have.
yeah.
Do you think they do you think they're going to drop points?
Even Daniel said they're gonna drop points, and the thing is, it's like it's not do I think I know they're going to drop points. Like I'm saying, like it's hard. Like like for example, we all reacted when we lost. When United, Liverpool drew, Arsenal lost, we reacted. But then Daniel was like, "Oh, Liverpool's still in it because Arsenal lost," and then we were just like, "You know what? We're all crying in our pain. Screw Man City." But so now we're all on the same team. We don't want to see Man. But the thing is, like I said, Man City's inside a different world now. They have the upper hand. Yeah. And like I said, if they lose to Madrid, their season is done. I don't think they are actually going to win the Prem. I even think that they may even finish in third because because if they drop points to Brighton, we will still be ahead of them mathematically. So even if they win their next game, because they drop points to Brighton, aren't we ahead of them?
Both us and Liverpool are ahead. We're back in that position where we were before, where it was both of us are the same. You know.
And that's what I'm saying. That's it. And I feel like if they lose one game or draw a game, their season is done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now I just feel like they haven't been in this position before. They're out of the Champions League, and for them, the league isn't really a big. They want to be winning Champions Leagues now, and I just feel like watching their team, they just have not looked like the same Man City that we know. Like their defense,
They look tired, man.
They look tired. Their defense is more leaky. Even their attack is springy. Like they can score 2 goals in 10 seconds, but sometimes they're just missing. And quite frankly, their midfield, there's something off of their midfield. Because if you watch Man City versus Liverpool, that game was like war in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And typically speaking, Pep loves dominating the midfield, which is why he's so obsessed with the CDM position.
Yeah, I'm just double checking the schedule because Nottingham Forest are inside a relegation battle, right?
And
So
those
for
guys,
them,
Nottingham Forest, those guys are pissed off. You don't want to play them now. You don't want to
that's
play them right now.
that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Nottingham Forest are inside a relegation battle, right? You're going away there. You're going away to Brighton. They play Fulham as well. Fulham are that's the and I'm talking about the away game. So away Nottingham Forest, away Brighton, away Fulham, Tottenham's away as well, and the final game is against West Ham. But for me, if they win, the Brighton, like I think those 3 games are the games they drop points in. No, 4 games are the ones we need to highlight. Tottenham have always been a thorn in their flesh. Fulham are like I'm not gonna say they're a good side, but what Fulham are representing, they're representing West Ham when they used to have Payet. They were just like you don't know, like they don't scared of anything. Payet will just come in and do what he wants to do. They don't have that one player that's like but as a collective they play. I think all of the teams this nowadays, man, we got good managers in the Prem, man, like good managers, and Nottingham Forest are pissed off. But let's bun that. What do you think the scoreline is going to be in the Chelsea game?
Honestly, I think we beat them 3-0.
3-0.
I think it's 3-0. I think we're gonna come out super aggressive. I think like it's one of those. You remember when we played Newcastle? When those guys were running their mouths after the first match, and then we took it personally. The first Chelsea match, I think we took that personally because of all the decisions that the refs missed. And I think we're just going to come out and literally just put the game away in the first half and just contain it after that. I think the mentality after Wolves, because Wolves was shaky. But that win is now giving us confidence we need to fully beat Chelsea. So I think it's just a 3-0, man.
Yeah, I'm going with 2-0. I agree with you. I don't think they're gonna do anything offensively. I think this game is gonna be it's gonna be a library game, bro. Me personally, I don't watch my team to be entertained. I watch my team for us to win. So I don't like when I watch those games. What I do, I look at what's going on, the formation. I'm trying to understand tactically what's going on, and that's what I want, bro. I want us to do that. What you're saying, be aggressive. If we score 3 goals, the game's wrapped. Though I'll tell you that right now, the game is wrapped if we score 3 goals because we don't concede more. Have we conceded more than once? Liverpool is the only team that scored 3 goals, 3 goals on us. If we score 3 goals, it's over. But I'm not trying to disrespect Chelsea. I know that they're inconsistent, and so I don't know what they're gonna do. It's like I personally feel like I have enough faith in Arteta in games for me to say that I believe that he's gonna manage this game well. We get a 2-0.
Bruv. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the schedule, yeah. Yo, the league's gonna be decided this week. It's this week.
You know what?
I'm just deep it. I'm just because, bruv, yeah. Liverpool, if they lose tomorrow or draw, their season is, and you know Everton, those guys are bad. They're bad people. Yeah, and then I just deep that we play Tottenham this Sunday. We play.
We win that game. We win that game. We win that because the games that people are saying is hard for us is over. You know what I'm trying to say? Because the United, no disrespect to United, like when you look on paper, the games people were saying were hard for us, we're playing them. We're playing 2 of them now. We're playing the Chelsea game.
We're playing them
and
back
we're playing.
to back.
Yes, so I agree with you. That's why I was saying that
our Man United game doesn't matter because the Man United game. My prediction is that we're already gonna be like 4 points on top. So even if we lose to Man United, it doesn't matter because we'll be like 1 point ahead.
And we play first.
Yeah,
we play first on Sunday.
If we're level on points, it doesn't matter because we win. Like I actually think the league could be determined this week, if I'm being honest.
Is that one of those things where you think the league's gonna be determined? Like everyone's been saying every single week since we hit 10 games, or is it like because I agree with you. I agree with you. Like the way this week goes is a huge momentum swing, and I want to remind you that after this week, next week is May.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Because let's just deep from a football perspective. Yeah, Arsenal beats Chelsea and Tottenham in the same week. Man City played Notts Forest and Brighton. Liverpool play Everton and West Ham. I'm telling you this year, whichever teams come, like if Liverpool loses a game, they're out. If Man City loses a game, they're out. If Arsenal loses a game, they're out. This is the week where the title race could go from all 3 teams are alive, or it's 2, or it's 1.
Yeah,
because you have Merseyside derby, you have North London derby and a London derby, and then you have Man City playing against Brighton and Notts Forest. And Notts Forest, they want to end the Premier League.
They're pissed, bro. Look, this is the thing. We're kind of
It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace.
We're kind of in our fields, but like this is the thing, yeah. Real talk. That's what I was talking about when I was saying that, like low key psychologically, if we do what we're supposed to do, City have pressure because the Spurs thing 100% in their heads. I watched the documentary of City. Yeah, Rodri is probably one of the most disrespectful. Like he's the the guy that's like, yo, yeah, if Arsenal lose this game, whatever, blah blah. That's him. Rodri in his head, if we beat Spurs and we play first, because all of those City players are counting on us to lose that game to remove the pressure away from them. If we beat Spurs, even if City win both their games, in my personal opinion, we have a very, very strong chance that we win the title. Very, very strong, because when they play Spurs, like people are saying Spurs are going to roll on their backs. I'm sorry. I don't think that's happening. I don't think Spurs are doing that. They're fighting for top 4. And if I was, I'm not going to say that. If Arsenal were in Spurs' position, I'd want my team to get into the Champions League versus Spurs winning a league. Okay, we have 13. You get what I'm trying to say?
Tottenham's definitely fighting for top 4. I don't care what anyone says. Even if we beat them, they're not the type of team that's now gonna roll over. they have notoriously given Man City work since Pep has been there. Notoriously, they have been given them work. So I disagree with that. That doesn't even sound like we're all men here. Why would you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't see
let's get to this. Let's get to this combined 11, man. It's gonna be fast.
yeah, Raya, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel.
So okay, yeah, there we go. Raya. That's like, does anyone want to say Petrovic?
Who's that?
Petrovic.
Bro, let's just go through the thing. Raya, Ben White.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, we
Saliba,
don't need to.
Gabriel.
We
Left
don't.
back we'll put let's just put Timber for fun.
No.
CDM, we'll
Let's
put
do current
Jorginho.
like players playing. So left
He
back.
is playing. Let's play for U21s.
Nah, that don't count. That don't count. So left back, yeah. This is where it's meaty. Is it? I think
Kivior.
Kukurea. Actually, no. Let's be real. Kivio has performed better than any of their left backs.
Yeah, Kivior.
Right? Kivio's performed better than any of their left backs. So Kivio, DM, Declan
Jorginho.
Rice, left center mid.
Let's put Jorginho, Declan Rice, Odegaard.
Then
Right wing, Saka. Up front, Havertz. And then left winger, Sterling, because he's meant to play for Arsenal right now anyways. So
yeah, I think that's it. One Chelsea player gets in. Actually, no, you know what? Let me do something. I think what we do is we put Odegaard left 8, put Palmer in attacking mid.
no, because he's not playing tomorrow. So how
No,
you
but
gonna
like
put
it's
combined
combined
11 if
11.
he's not playing.
Okay, if he was playing, because he's
If he's
sick,
not
this could
playing,
all be PR. This is all
playing,
This could be all be PR. He's
Odegaard
sick.
doesn't play that side of the mid. So you can't move
Okay, then put
Odegaard
Palmer there.
in. No, because Declan, where are you gonna put Declan Rice?
Declan Rice is playing CDM.
I want Declan Rice to play the 8. So,
Yo, but real talk, yeah. This was
sick.
like, look, real talk, yeah. If you're a Chelsea fan, you disagree. Tell me what you think that the combined 11 is supposed to be.
There's no
Me
disagreeing.
personally, you can disagree. It's calm. You get me, right? You have a civil conversation. Please, y'all. If you like the video, if you like how we were talking, I personally feel like me and Colin, I feel like we're not delusional. And if we are delusional, our delusion scale is more on the lower side of things. You get me, right? But like in it, subscribe, please. You I'm trying to say, if you like the content, subscribe. You get me. And this is yeggooner, King Colin Walker. You know how we do, baby.